feel like I'm providing a service for the community and get a lot of thank you for all you do for the community, you know. Something like that, you know, is repeated a lot. And of course, you get a lot of positive feedback. There's a little negative, but small town paper here, you know, if all they had was a Lewiston Tribune, there'd be very rare that like a local kid gets his picture in the paper. I try and get everybody on the team, if they get in the game, they're gonna get a picture taken somewhere along the way. My folks bought the paper in 1975, and I was in college at that time. But I was in college over at Yakima Valley College, went to high school in Sunnyside, Washington. And my senior year of high school was actually when I started writing sports for the Tri-City Herald, because that's where my dad worked and they needed somebody up in the Yakima Valley to do sports. So that was my entry into it. And so I'm a sports writer who branched into everything else, you know. Like how many times you see guys, a sports editor or sports writer for a newspaper that 10 years later he's a managing editor, or presses are the same thing. This one I was running some envelopes through. It used the same process that most printing is done now, plate and offset printing, and that one's just a bigger version. This is an old hot metal press here. It's going to be kind of noisy here. There, put the numbers and the perforation line in there for 6. That's the fun part of it, you know. Some of these, like going to city council meetings, is not so much fun, but some of those guys have some personalities, you know, on there every once in a while. Oh, don't print that. When I was doing sports when I was in high school, my dad was the editor, sort of. He was the first guy that saw it, and that time we used an old pre-fax system to get my stories down to the Kennewick office where they printed the paper, and so he'd go through there and mark up what I needed to change, you know, and then it gets slit down the middle and cut apart. So this plate is all the same. Well, it's a family business for one thing, and like I say, I enjoy doing it, especially the sports part of it. And this billing is something I could pass off to somebody else if I could afford to pay them to do it, but I know I've seen places that had papers and don't anymore, and you know, they really miss it. So. This one was our workhorse, but it finally quit on me, and I haven't figured out how to fix it. Fortunately, we got another. My degree is actually in physics, believe it or not. So, funny story there. You want to know why I went into physics? For one thing, I was good at that math stuff when I was in high school, but there's very few term papers in physics. So now I put a term paper out every week. But
That's a little ironic.